Hey y'all, my name is Larry Bird and welcome back to my kitchen. Well, the other night my wife and I were watching an episode of Andy Griffith's show, and it was one, I don't remember which episode it was specifically, but Aunt B talked about making her chocolate banana cream pie. That got me thinking, got me looking, and I found one that I think is pretty cool, and I'm going to give that a shot today. So today we're going to make Aunt B's, well, my version of it, of chocolate banana cream pie. All right, let's go. All right, so first thing we're going to do is pie crust. So I'm not very good at pie crust. I've tried them a few times. They don't come out very well. So I really love to use the store-bought frozen pie crust. This happens to be, I think, a Pillsbury. It's a deep dish pie crust. I love these things. They're really tasty. They're really good. And obviously makes it a lot easier. You know me, I love easy. So here's what we do. We take this pie crust, and first we're going to do it's thawed. We thaw for about 10-15 minutes. We're going to take a fork and dock it. That means we're going to poke a bunch of holes in it, which will keep it from bubbling up so much. You want to do it on the bottom and on the sides. So just poke a bunch of holes in the crust. So we have to par bake this pie crust because this recipe is a no-bake pie. It's basically making a custard and cooling it till it sets. So I'm poking holes in the sides and in this bottom. Now, one thing that you can do, to keep this thing from bubbling as well, is use pie weights. But I don't have any pie weights, so look what we can use. Dried beans. These are dried kidney beans. So what I'm going to do, I took a piece of parchment paper that I used the method of folding it, and cutting it to the right size, turn it into a circle. I'm going to spray a little bit of baking powder, baker's non-stick stuff. This actually has flour in it on the back of this thing. Yeah, kind of messy. To keep it from sticking, we'll put it in the pie, in the crust, and then pour our pie weights, or in this case, our red beans, dried beans, in there. Smooth them out, just like that. So now we've got our pie crust docked with pie weights to keep it from bubbling up. And we're going to put this in the oven for about 11 to 15 minutes. It's been preheating to 400 degrees. All right, I'll be back. All right, so here we go. Now we're going to make the vanilla custard. So to do that, we start off with 2 cups of whole milk in a saucepan on medium heat. Okay, 2 cups of milk and half a cup of granulated white sugar. We're going to stir that. And what we want to do here, we're cooking over medium heat. We want to bring it up so that the milk starts to bubble on the edges and starts to steam. And when that happens, we're going to add it to the mixture, which is 3 egg yolks beaten together with 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. So what we'll have to do is, once the milk is cooked, we will slowly pour some of the hot milk into the eggs, stir them, and get it combined. It's what's called tempering. And then once we get the eggs tempered in the other bowl, then we'll pour the whole thing back in here so that we don't cook the eggs. We don't scramble the eggs, I should say. So now we just got to wait for this to cook. Okay, so the milk is starting to bubble around the edges, and you can see it's steaming very nicely. So what we want to do now is we want to take it off the heat, and we need to temper it the eggs back into the cream. So I'm going to take it off the heat. I've got my mixture of egg yolks and cornstarch here, and I'm going to slowly take some of the hot milk mixture and put it into the eggs and whisk that together to get it combined. And again, what we're doing is we're trying to bring these eggs up to the temperature of the milk slowly. We don't want to just pour this directly into the hot milk because it will cause the eggs to basically scramble. So I want to get this mixed up until it's smooth. I'll do another little bit of the milk as I'm whisking. I'm going to do just a little bit more. Now, what we'll also do to be sure this stays smooth is at the end of this, once this is fully cooked, we'll run it through a strainer to make sure that we'll pull out any chunks of eggs that may have actually scrambled. Okay, now we've got that done. Now we're going to take this mixture and we're going to put it back into the milk and whisk it, and we'll pour it slowly and whisk as we do. Now we're going to put it back on the heat. And it should start to thicken. The cornstarch should cause this to thicken into a nice pudding. And when that happens, we'll add in the 2 tablespoons of butter, unsalted butter, and 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla extract. You want to whisk this continuously. Okay, now it's starting to thicken. It's turning into a nice custard now. Okay, I'm going to take it off the heat. Turn the heat off. Add in the butter. Again, 2 tablespoons of unsalted butter. And 1.5 teaspoons, so I'll just eyeball, of vanilla extract. And whisk that together until it's smooth. All right, now, the next step is to pour this through a mesh strainer to get out any chunks. Might as well give it a little bit of a taste. That's good. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to use a spatula to just kind of press this through the strainer. It's a little bit tedious, but it does ensure that your custard is nice and smooth with no chunks in it. Because there definitely are some chunks in this pudding right now. And you don't want a chunky custard in your pie. Okay, there we go. There's our vanilla custard, all nice and smooth and creamy and ready to use. So what we're going to do is let this sit on the counter to cool, probably about 20, 30 minutes or so until it gets to room temperature. Stir it occasionally to make sure it doesn't get a crust formed on top of it, and then we'll use it to assemble the pie. Okay, next step, chocolate ganache. All right, now for the ganache, we're going to use 1/2 cup of heavy cream, which we're going to heat in the microwave until it just almost boils, but not quite, just get nice and hot. And then we're going to pour that heated milk or heated cream over 4 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate to make a chocolate ganache. Okay? All right, so let's get started. We'll run this for about a minute to start with. So it looks like it's bubbly. Now we're going to pour this over the chocolate. And stir it up until it's all melted. Get down! Cat's on the table. Stupid cat. His name is Jet. He's solid black and he's a crazy little bastard. All right, there we go. A nice smooth chocolate ganache. The next step will be to assemble everything once everything is cool and ready to go. All right, y'all. Now we're going to assemble the pie. So first thing we're going to do, here's a pie crust that's been cooked in the oven, par baked in the oven. We're going to start off by putting our chocolate ganache on the bottom. Get that kind of settled in there. Now we're going to layer that with bananas. I got a couple of sliced bananas here. I'm just going to kind of layer these on here. Slippery as hell. There, I think that'll do. Now, next step will be to put the vanilla custard on top of that. And then we can put some more bananas on top of that if we want to. But we can also put whipped cream. All right, now the next step is to put our vanilla pudding on top. Just going to kind of dollop this on. Kind of like that. And then just smooth it out. That looks pretty good. So now we've got our vanilla custard on top of the chocolate on bananas. Now we're going to cover this with whipped cream. This is a heavy whipping cream with about 2 tablespoons of salt and a half teaspoon of vanilla whipped to soft peaks. And just dollop that on top. And there you have it. 8B's, or my version of 8B's, chocolate banana cream pie. It's got to go in the refrigerator now to cool for at least 2 hours to set and become firm before you cut into it and eat it. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, y'all, here we go. It's been about 2.5 hours now. The pie, which I covered in bananas, has been sitting in the freezer for about 2.5 hours. So hopefully it's set up. So let's give it a cut and see what it tastes like. Handy dandy pie server. Oh yeah. Okay, so there you see it. Once again, it's got a layer, you can't really see it, but it's got a layer of chocolate ganache on the bottom, vanilla cream, and then whipped cream on top. So let's check it out. Holy cow. That is a hell of a pie. Oh my God. Mm. Wow. Aunt B's chocolate banana cream pie. Who'd have thought? Holy cow. Really, really good. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun making it. Aunt B's chocolate banana cream pie. It's delicious. Not too difficult to make, but definitely worth it. Hope you enjoyed it. So until next time, please click the like button. And if you feel so inclined, please follow my YouTube channel, which is at youtube.com/@LarryBirdKitchen. And until next time, we'll see you again. Have a good one.